Okay, this is a video we're putting together of the dissected cat in A&P lab, and Melissa has dissected it really nicely. She's going to go over all the muscles, and just so you know that we're going to, at the end, we're going to give you a copy of the key here that has all the muscles listed and their numbers, which then line up with the numbers that are stuck in the cat here on the video. So Melissa, I'm going to let you just run with it.
All right, we're going to start here on the neck and the jaw with the digastric. It's number 1. Here's the masseter, this big round muscle for chewing. The temporalis isn't dissected out, but you can feel it. It's this muscle around the ear here. And we have our sternocleidomastoid along the side of the neck. And then we have our pectoralis group, our pectoralis major, and then our pectoralis minor extending up underneath and then coming down to here.
And that's quite a bit different in the cat than it is in the human, by the way.
Yeah, the cat has 2 extra muscles here. It's got this xiphihumeralis, which is a cat-specific muscle, and also this pectoantebrachialis. But in a human, this would all be the pectoralis major and then pectoralis minor. On number 6, it's number 6 here, serratus ventralis, with these serrated fingers of muscle meeting each other here and here, coming down into
The serratus anterior in humans.
yes, latissimus dorsi, which covers the serratus ventralis or serratus anterior partially. And then on the other side, we have external oblique coming down this way and inserting down here in this iliac area. And then if we fold back external oblique, we have internal oblique. And then you can see I've removed some of this tendon here, some of this aponeurosis, so that you can see the rectus abdominis. But we haven't dissected out the transverse abdominis, which is really deep, and in this cat would be really thin, just too thin to dissect. Oh yeah, now we're coming to some of the muscles of the arm. So we have our triceps brachii. This is our lateral, long, and medial head of the triceps muscle. And then if we push aside this cat muscle here, it's non-human muscle, and look underneath, we have our biceps brachii that's between the triceps and that pectoantebrachialis. On this side of the limb, we have our flexor compartment. And then on this side, these are our extensors. And on the lateral side, we have one more deep muscle, which is the brachialis muscle, a really large muscle under there in humans and in cats. And coming down over the top, we have brachioradialis, which is going across the brachialis and then coming down to the radial side of the arm. Now we've got our sartorius.
Sartorial splendor.
Looks a lot like the sartorius in the human from this lateral side, but on the medial side it's very, very wide. In the human it would just continue to be a strap-like muscle coming around to the medial side of the knee. And then on the other side of the femoral vein and artery, we have another broad, flat muscle in the cat, and it's a strappy muscle in the human. That's the gracilis. And if we push those aside, if we push gracilis aside, we have our adductor group here, which in the cat is adductor femoris and adductor longus, but in the human we have adductor longus, magnus, and brevis. And if we push aside our sartorius, we're going to see our quadriceps group, which is vastus medialis. Vastus intermedius is the next one in. And then looking from the lateral side, we see vastus lateralis, and then just deep to the sartorius, we have our rectus femoris. If we continue down the limb, we have our gluteus medius and maximus. This is our tensor fascia lata, this lowest one, and then our medius and maximus, and then another cat muscle, caudofemoralis, that humans don't have. Now we get to our hamstring group, biceps femoris, semitendinosus is this next one down here, and then from the medial side, semimembranosus. So those two with the biceps femoris make your hamstring group. Then on this lower limb, we have gastrocnemius, which is the most superficial, and then the two deeper muscles, see if you can see that there. We have soleus, and then plantaris is the deepest, and soleus is easier to see from the medial side. Plantaris is a lot easier to see from the lateral side, and there, maybe you can see there, we've got our plantaris and our soleus. And all three of those, the gastrocnemius, plantaris, and soleus, insert into the calcaneal tendon. They're the only three that do. And on the anterior side, we have tibialis anterior. We have our extensor digitorum longus, and then we have our fibularis muscles. I've just pinned the group. That's this next group back here. Also called the tibialis or peroneus muscles. And then we have, on the medial side, we have flexor digitorum longus, which has another long tendon insertion. That's how you can kind of spot it on this medial side. And the very back, we have tibialis posterior. On this dorsal side of the cat, we have trapezius coming up like this, and then going over there, making a trapezoid. If we remove part of that and look just deep to it in this infraspinous fossa of the scapula, we have infraspinatus, and then in the supraspinous fossa of the scapula, we have supraspinatus.
Put your finger on the spine of the scapula, because it's something you feel more than you see.
Yeah, you can feel it right here. So supra and infra would be on either side of it. And then if we go deep to that, in the subscapular fossa, we have subscapularis. And these muscles that are standing out like that are the rhomboids. In the cat, it's one group, it's the rhomboideus muscle, and then rhomboid capitis. This muscle here that is just going straight up and down along the spine is the splenius. And then we have the deltoids in the cat. We have our levator scapula, and then we have our deltoids, which are right here, so they're making a bracket kind of around the trapezius and levator scapula, right there. Oh, and our scalenes, which we can't see very well, but are coming around from this side and extending towards the rostral side of the cat. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'll take a picture of the key now, and then I'll take photographs of that and post it up separately on its own. Here's the key for you right now.